Hi, it's Shannon from the Pier 54 podcast. I just wanted to share with you a podcast I just heard about called The Secret Life of Weddings. Stay tuned after the promo for a regular weekly recap.
Hey guys, it's Lisa
and Rebecca
from the Secret Life of Weddings podcast. And I know what you're thinking, oh, a wedding podcast? It's really not what you think.
Not at all.
We tell the world's craziest true wedding stories. This is insanity. Like, we're talking the bride is pregnant with the best man's baby. A man dunks his entire head into a chocolate fountain.
Lisa's not kidding. This stuff is legit crazy.
Come check us out in the Secret Life of Weddings podcast. And remember,
anything can happen at weddings.
And we will be here to tell you all about it.
Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
the podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the September 23rd through 27th recap of General Hospital.
It's almost October.
I know.
That's crazy.
This is going to be posted on September 30th, so you might be listening to this in October. If so, happy October.
I love October.
Happy fall.
Happy fall. That's right.
It's the first day of fall this week.
Yes.
So
I love fall.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that the kids are no longer playing baseball.
Right.
On the show, so there's no more baseball games. I guess we're done with the softball league. That would have been fun to actually see, though.
No more Lila's kids, but you haven't seen anyone in school yet, right?
Other than, Joss and Cam.
Well, yeah, but I meant the little kid, like Charlotte and them.
Yeah, no.
We haven't seen who their new teacher is.
No, no, we have not.
That would be a good. Introduce us to a new character.
That would be
a new teacher.
Yeah, who's teaching these kids?
Right.
Now that Miss Tate, I think that's so cool that she's...
Yes. She would be awesome. She will be awesome at the hospital.
Yeah. And I like that they are bringing that aspect in as awareness.
Right.
Because that's something that people probably don't really think about is...
You have to, homeschool, but hospital school if you have an illness. Yes, that's awesome.
And for them to bring in a professional to take care of that because... So that way the parents can take care of caregiver and not also have to be teacher.
Yeah, I could never be teacher.
No.
No. Mm-mm.
Do you have notes?
I
took a ton.
Oh, I didn't take a ton. I just did one line. So you can pick your whatever.
It did not occur to me that Wiley was in the car.
No.
He could have been in the car. When we talked about it last week, we were talking about, I hope he doesn't go kidnap Wiley.
Yep.
Did not.
I know, that was good.
Did not register with me. That was a good one. So on Monday, I said, Carly's going to go into labor soon if Bobby winds up in the hospital.
See, that makes me mad because I had just said, 2 weeks ago that I thought she was going to go into labor over... Oh, the fight with Jax about it. Yes, it got very heated. And that I was happy that they didn't do that. And then this week, nope, early labor.
Yeah. But it's only 2 weeks. And the doctors say give or take 2 weeks around her due date. So... But where she's supposed to be a scheduled C-section.
Right.
That's a
concern there,
yes. I love that Sunny made it in time.
Finally.
And Jason's not going to be the one.
30 kids and he finally can make it before one of them's born.
So my quote of the week is around Carly.
Okay.
And it's from Epiphany. When she said to Carly, every parent leaving out of here with a newborn is facing something. Sometimes it's right away. Sometimes it's much later in life. I believe that all babies and children are perfect in God's eyes.
Yes.
Because that is so true.
Mm-hmm.
As a parent to an autistic child, people are always like, oh, I'm so sorry or something like that. And I think that 85% of the time they don't mean it the way that it comes out.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
But it makes me more sad for people who have a neurotypical or even a physically capable child. Because what's going to happen if that child later in life has a problem?
Mm-hmm.
My daughter's only the way that I've known her. So but I liked that and how she said, whether it's today or, basically she said, whether it's today or tomorrow, all parents are going to have. And she didn't shame her for feeling the way that she felt.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just.
Epiphany is awesome. She never shames anyway. I wish she was the nurse here. I would go see her all the time.
Yes. So Carly really never talks about her adoptive mom.
Mm-mm.
Because
she said something this week. Yeah. When they were talking about the rain.
Right as rain.
Right
yeah.
as rain. Yeah.
Yep.
She was like, I just always heard my mom say that. And I thought, really? You always heard your mom say that? But she didn't differentiate between sense of known Bobby or her adoptive mom said that also.
I took it as adoptive mom.
I did too.
Because wasn't she in Florida?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's a more southern
Yes, I agree.
saying.
Right.
So that's why I looked up and I was like, wait, you don't talk about your mom.
I have a really random note, but when Ava went into Julian's bar and gave him a kiss, she kissed him on the lips, and that freaked me out.
Okay, so you're not a lips kissing family member person?
For my kids, and that's it.
I'm not at all, and one of my aunts always does it, and I'm like, no, I'm not.
My family's just not very touchy-feely at all.
I'll hug and kiss your cheek all over the place.
And I try to make myself be more affectionate with the kids even, because I don't want them to grow up and feel like, no, don't touch me.
Mm-hmm.
But if my brother walked up to me tomorrow and was like, oh, hey, how are you doing? And kissed me on the lips, I would be like, what are you doing? That's disgusting. No.
You know, I didn't catch that.
It just...
Was it right on the lips or was it like off to the side?
It was on the lips. It was like here. Like, it wasn't like make out kiss, obviously, but it was on the lips. And I just, no.
Interesting.
Sorry for anyone that goes for that, but no. Mm-mm.
I am so happy, though, now that we're talking about Julian. I am very proud of him. I am very happy that he finally snapped.
He was awesome. Because he didn't get nasty.
Nope.
He did really good. Because typically, I mean, it's anyone's nature, but especially some men, when you hurt their feelings, they go nasty and try to rip you apart in any way they can. And he did not call her names. He just stated a fact of, you've always wanted to be with Drew. I can never live up to it.
Yep. He drew...
Walking away.
No pun intended.
He drew the line. That was good.
I didn't mean
that. But it was really good.
But he said, this is where, you know, he's forgiven. He hasn't been forgiven. I don't think he's even considered being contempt towards her for anything, but that...
Right. Yeah, there's a difference between forgiving you for feeling conflicted and forgiving you for flat out sleeping with the guy. Like, come on.
Right.
So, yeah, he did really good with very clear boundaries and sticking to it and didn't make excuses. And even when, like, Ava was asking him about it, he didn't talk crap. He was just like, this is what happened. I broke up with her. We're done.
Yep. I'm really upset that he is rescinding
so is Olivia.
Sale just a bit.
So was Olivia.
I mean, she has a valid...
Yeah.
You can't just say no because you don't want to. That's not how
I'm not sure how the legalities... You obviously know more than I do there. But I would think that when paperwork is signed, you can't just... Oops, change my mind.
And not for just because.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are extenuating circumstances and blah,
Have
blah,
they
blah,
signed all the papers, though?
They would have had to have for... I mean, didn't she say, like, the sale's final?
The inspection happened on Rocco's birthday, but I thought then there was a delay to the final paperwork for some reason. But I'm not sure why.
I forget what the issue was, but you're right. There was an issue with something.
I can't remember now, but
whatever.
To me, excuse me, like there was a delay in paperwork.
But, I mean, as far as we could tell, right now, the only reason why this is even falling apart is because Julian's changed his mind.
Yes, exactly.
And in that case, I would think that he doesn't have a ground to stand on.
Right.
You know, it's... At least I think so.
That would be an interesting court case to have Olivia suing him.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Who do you think her attorney's going to be, Diane? Or Alexis? She won't get Alexis.
No.
Because Alexis is kind of on
his side. Yeah. It would have to be Diane.
Yep. Because we have no other attorneys.
Yeah, I can't call Nora in because
maybe she'll get Nora.
No, Nora's all family. Isn't she? Hasn't she only done family on GH?
I think so, yeah.
Why did they switch Shiloh's attorney? This is like a while ago.
I forgot to ask that. I had that in my previous
notes. I wanted to know that.
I know, because that was amazing.
It was.
Uh-huh. I don't know. But
And
we
I just happened to notice at like the end of that day of questioning, that was not the original attorney that we started out with.
Mm-hmm.
Not fair. I don't like it.
No, neither do I.
Maybe she had another commitment or
Maybe
something.
he couldn't afford her anymore. Maybe that was his public
Maybe
defender.
she was just for custody. Maybe she was sticking true.
Maybe she's family and not criminal.
Right.
Oh.
Someone who actually picks a side and sticks to it.
Yay. Speaking of Diane, she was there today, but does she have no client confidentiality whenever it comes to Sam and Jason standing in the room?
I guess not. That was so funny. Yeah. Let me just take this phone call and speak freely in front of you.
Yep.
What the heck?
Yep.
How naive is Maxie? I know she wants to love him, or she does love him, and so she wants it to be okay. But seriously, girlfriend, $35,000 cash? No.
Mm-hmm. Especially when she said, but why would you need to take it out before I even asked you?
Mm-hmm. Right. And his answer was just too perfect. So her reaction has to be to kiss him.
And then, I mean, that's so manipulative of him.
I really
I'm not happy about this.
Yeah, I really don't like the turn that he's made.
No.
At all.
Mm-mm.
And Laura's on to him because she was the first one to ask, why were you at the docks to begin with?
Right.
You weren't taking a midnight stroll on the docks. Yeah. Not happening.
I guess we could have talked. Well, I guess we can talk about it if we go to Joss. I thought that Christina made a lot of really good points.
Yeah, she was being a good big sister there.
You have the chance to reinvent yourself. You
don't usually see her being very sisterly towards her. Not that she's not nice to her. They just don't have that interaction.
They don't have any.
So that was sweet that she explained to her, look at the bright side. This could be a step. Right. And it wasn't taking your mom and dad's side. Or it wasn't taking your side. It was just like reframing the idea.
Yeah. I'm really glad that Joss stood up for Dev and cleared the air about that. Mm-hmm. And I love the conversation that she and Carly had.
Yes.
About Oscar and the grief and everything.
And that was a good mom moment.
That was very good. And it was funny because as she's sitting there, like, I don't know how to do this. I look over and everything. So, I mean, I've referenced it before, like my friend that died when I was 11. Mm-hmm. Like, he was hit by a car riding his bike where we rode our bikes all the time, and next week I'm doing an open house on the street that I grew up on.
Wow.
That's not my backyard was catty corner from his.
Okay.
This one is like 2 doors down from his. And I drove by this week just to preview it, and it'll be 26 years in October. And the house that I had an open house at today, at the end of the street, is the entrance to the cemetery that he is laid at. So I stopped and said hi, but I was like, it doesn't completely go away. No. And when I was a kid, like, you don't know how to deal with a child dying, let alone, I mean, he and I were just like best friends, but I had a group of us that I basically had like my Trina and Cam,
Yeah.
And I immediately messaged one of them and said, hey, I was in the area and stopped by, sent pictures. And
aww.
Like, he named his child after him.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, you learn how to deal with it.
Right. But it doesn't go away.
No, especially like when my kids were his age, letting them ride bikes took all my strength, because it wasn't just him. 2 years after that, one of my cousins was hit by a drunk driver on his motorcycle. And then like 6 years later, I had a friend on a motorcycle clipped by an 18-wheeler.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the 18-wheeler was moving over into his lane. So I don't like bikes very much.
Yes.
But like, we as a family have been talking about like getting bikes and going on trails and stuff. And I'm like, I'll be fine with that. I think I'll be fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
But you just never know. And it's, you see Joss struggling in all this. And I know that we kind of joke about it a little bit. Like, she needs to get therapy, but like, seriously.
No,
they need to get her.
Needs therapy. I thought, who did I think was going to say it?
Dustin?
Yes.
When he was like, what would help?
Yes, thank you. And then they just kind of dropped it again. And I was like, no, tell her she needs therapy.
Yep.
Even the school counselor, if she's nice, like, go talk to somebody.
Why hasn't the school counselor
reached out? They should have had something for everyone. But we also know they don't continue that ongoing unless you request special help with that.
But the day after my friend died, they separated us and I didn't go to class that day.
Mm-hmm.
We all sat in a room and they took us one by one and talked to us. And I was just so numb to it that I still went to school the next day.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it wasn't real
Right.
yet. But they should be having, especially after she skipped school.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sunny and Carly, not trying to parent shame here. They should have called the school and said, hey, Joss is having a really hard time.
Yes.
Can you just keep an eye on her?
Right. That should have been an email that went out to all of the teachers. Hey, in case you weren't aware,
right,
this is the situation, so that they know it's not just another classmate. It was someone very important in her life.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, she's doing a good job. I mean, she's what, 16?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's 9, but she's 16.
No, it's a lot to deal with, and that was a good mom conversation, and she had a good conversation with Jax the other day, but I don't know how, since mental health is one of the things they rally around so much.
Right.
It has not just been an obvious she needs some type of counseling.
Right. And she has very supportive parents. And she has 3 supportive parents. You know, Sunny
But that's not enough in these
not.
circumstances. You can't talk to a family member the way you can a therapist. And they're not trained to handle the situation.
Right.
I mean, as a parent, you like to think you can handle every situation, but you can't.
No.
And that's why there are trained professionals out there.
Right. Well, that's what I was kind of going to say, because I'm like, you know, she's able to have these honest conversations with them, but there's still stuff that she needs to hold back, you know, and yeah, journaling is great, but what happens when your thoughts go off and go to a dark place?
Mm-hmm.
You need someone to be able to go talk to and say,
yes,
I'm here. I need help,
you
know, so
I hope that
please get her a therapist.
I hope they do. I hope that that's the next step, because maybe that's what this new teacher is going to show us. Maybe she is going to make an advance towards him or something, and that is going to be like the trigger for her to go seek help.
Yeah, because Trina is all about him.
Yes.
It's very inappropriate. It's not the way that we talked about our teachers when we had a crush on them.
No.
It's inappropriate.
It is.
It's not, oh my gosh, he's so cute, you know?
Right.
Like,
no, I remember making jokes if there was a cute teacher, like, well, I'd pay attention in that class because you can't not want to sit there and stare at them.
Right.
But I never wanted any outside activities with them. They were grown-ups and I was a child.
It feels
slimy.
Yeah. It's not just, oh my gosh, he's so cute, you know?
Yeah.
So what do you think he does? You know?
Right.
No, that and the other thing,
it's crossed a different line. So I'm hoping that the point of that crush they keep portraying her having is going to take us somewhere good, because it better not go somewhere gross or I'm going to be mad.
And we actually had someone a couple weeks ago, and I forgot to give her a shout out, at Crystal Tweets 19 on Twitter, said that she hadn't thought about that until she listened to our podcast. So I would love to know where your thoughts are now, Crystal, and, you know, are we on the same path that we thought? I think we are. I think unfortunately we were right.
Yeah.
I really was hoping we were wrong. But
no, that's where I'm going to go with it. They're doing this because she's going to say something or do something totally out of character, and that's going to bring everyone to the realization she needs some therapy because she's just too far off the rails.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea for a podcast but don't know where to start? Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Anchor is such an easy way to record and edit a podcast, and you can do it from either your phone or computer. Best part is you don't have to worry about getting it out there. Anchor distributes to many platforms, so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and many more. You can start making money right away without having a minimum number of listeners, too. Anchor really is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place.
When does school start and when does work start? These people do a lot of things.
They do.
Before, I mean, Dev made a full statement before the first bell. That's impressive.
It is. He knew what he was trying to say, I guess.
Yeah. Did you think that Dustin was standing way too close to Laura?
Yes. That was weird.
Yeah. There's something up
there
with
it. There's something up with
He
him.
is aligning himself with her.
Way too much. Yeah, I agree.
Good for Laura and how she stood up to Olivia, though.
That was so crazy. Who does she think she is?
I just like that both of them said Dante asked for the divorce.
Yeah.
Lulu needs to be able to move on.
Exactly. And it doesn't even matter who asked for the divorce. It's final.
Right.
It's over and done with.
Right.
It's not hanging in the balance. They are no longer husband and wife.
Right.
End of conversation.
Yeah. No.
And for her to say, if I think I need to step in for your parenting or whatever, I can't remember how she said it now.
She said,
I was so mad.
She was like, I'll back off unless I see something that would harm Rocco or like affect Rocco or something along those lines. Yeah.
I don't know what you're threatening here, girlfriend, but you're not taking my kid. I haven't had
That's
any
how I
type
took
of...
it too.
Yes, that was definitely a threat that
I
she
will
was going to take
him.
her. No, you won't take him.
Nope.
Absolutely not. I'm allowed to have a nice man around my children to play baseball in the backyard or eat some dinner with us.
Moms are allowed to get some too.
They are, not in front of their kids.
No.
Yes.
But she didn't.
Exactly. That's what I mean, is it has not
the kids
crossed
were being
any
taken
inappropriate level. Oh, I thought the cutest thing this week, which is probably me just wanting like some fantasy perfect relationship, is when, I don't know, was it Jason's phone that died or Sam's phone that died? One of their phones died.
Jason's was
dead?
I think so. Dying.
Okay, and Sam was like, here, take mine. And they just swapped them, like, no big deal, 100% access, take my phone.
That was sweet, yeah.
I loved that. There's not many couples that can do that.
No.
That was awesome.
Speaking of Sam, I loved her pantsuit this week.
Yes, she looked so pretty.
Adorable. So are we ready to talk about that yet?
Go ahead.
Do we have... Hold it. Okay.
Is there anything else you could possibly need to cover?
What happened to that wellness chick that we thought was Kiefer's sister? She hasn't even been around. That's not the nurse, is it?
I don't think so, but I wasn't positive. That was the last thing I wrote.
Had longer hair.
Dawn of Day nurse.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Because the fitness chick, the one that was working out with Alexis, she had longer hair, I thought. But I mean, you can always cut your hair. So what's going on with her? We haven't seen her in a while since she kicked Diane and Alexis's butt.
Wasn't that the nurse that gave away the information about Wiley? When he called.
Oh, was that?
Wasn't that the same office? Remember he called Mercy?
Yeah.
And some chick answered, but
is that the same nurse?
I think it is.
It could
now
be.
I need to look back.
I know she's a Donna. She's obviously a Donna Day.
Obviously a Donna Day nurse, but that's who I thought it was. So if it's not the same person, then I can be wrong. But obviously working for Donna Day. So
I like that. Well, I mean, so we've referenced it a little bit earlier that Elizabeth has no right to, no legal right to force this treatment onto. Right, Franco. But how cute was Aiden?
That was so nice. And how nice was Franco, not Franco, to sit there and talk to him. He didn't give any false expectations. Yep. He didn't lie and pretend like he remembered something he didn't. He just was nice to the kid. And that was awesome.
Yep. And he was like, oh, thanks, I could use the chocolate. And Aiden offering him, if that's not your favorite anymore, I'll get you your...
Yes.
So yay!
Yes.
So,
do you think that's going to spark something?
I think it might. I think it might a little.
He had kind of a look.
Bit.
I couldn't tell for sure.
Wouldn't that be crazy if I was totally right that they're going to use food to do this? Should I ever wind up in an alternate personality state that you need to bring me back from?
Okay. What's the food?
I don't know. What would your food be? I mean, I'm just a chocoholic, but I don't know what would trigger a memory.
For me, it would be Carmelo bars, because when I turned 16, my dad gave me a Carmelo with a card taped to it that said, couldn't remember if you said Carmelo or Camaro. Hope I got the right one. So
that is so cute. I love it. I love it.
So that would be it. Or those candy bars, whatchamacallit?
Yes.
No one ever knows what I'm talking about whenever I say that. So good
job.
Chewy,
chocolatey, scrumptious,
what
something.
I'm talking about.
Whatchamacallit.
When I was super young, like too young to be babysitting, my mom and my oldest sister that just passed away had to go to the store. And my dad was there and my other siblings were there. But they told me I was in charge of watching my nephew, who was like 3 at the time. So I would have been like 6, while they went to the store. And when they came back, my sister was like, oh, I got you something for watching the baby. And I was like, yay, what'd you get me? And she was like, a whatchamacallit. And I was like, oh, what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
And she was like, you know, whatchamacallit. And she totally knew I had no idea what she was talking about, because it was a new candy bar, or at least new to me at that point.
It was new in the 90s.
She played it up. That would have been 80s.
Was it 80s?
Played it up and was like, a whatchamacallit, till finally she gave me the candy bar. And I was like, ah. So those are my 2 favorite candy bars, and they just happen to have stores that go with them. So there you go.
Lilac might be, but like fresh lilac, not the candles.
Okay.
They don't
No, it's
hold
not the same.
No, not at all. Some get close, but most don't. I'm sorry. Because that's my favorite blossom, because it's a blossom, not a flower, but it's still a blossom. But they were also my wedding bouquet.
Oh, okay.
So I wonder if that, and I really don't know. Maybe just like fresh cut grass, the beach.
Taking the beach. I need to put this patient who has no idea who she is in a wheelchair and take her to the beach.
Specifically take me to Revere Beach in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Because that's the first beach that I ever went to. That's the one that I would go to all the time when I go to Boston. I will know that beach.
All right.
I'll
make a mental note. And if not, I have the podcast to play that.
Like, what was the name of that? Fun fact, it's the first public beach in America. All right, so let's get to it. The day we've waited for.
Shiloh dying is the
gone.
day you're waiting for?
Isn't it the day that we've been waiting for?
No,
okay,
because,
we love the actor.
Well, no, see, now I'm torn because of the whole nurse thing. If he would have died and that would have been the end of it, I would be okay with that. Not that I wanted him to die because I liked him as an actor, but close the story out. He's dead, over and done with. But the fact that they're going to keep it going on with these other people and he's not going to be there is going to make me mad. Because if I have to put up with the storyline, I at least want to look at him while I do it.
I think that he might have had one of the best death scenes that we've ever had, though. Death by flare gun?
Yes! I want a flare gun now. That was great.
Oh, it was so good.
And it never occurred to me that he had a bulletproof vest on either.
No!
That was great. It only made sense that he stole a cop uniform and have one, but never thought of that.
Absolutely. Because at first, I was glad that Jason shot him.
Mm-hmm.
However, Sam is a tough chick.
Yes.
And can totally take care of herself and hasn't been lately.
I feel like that's based off of trauma, though. I feel like she...
Not just with Shiloh. Like, I feel like even before him, I don't know, she hasn't been as...
I wish everyone could see your hand motions here to go with it. I know, I agree that she has been more helpless than we've seen her in the past.
Yes.
In this particular case, I think it is just from the fear of he's going to end up...
Yeah, she was paralyzed by he's actually going to do it this time.
Yes.
Absolutely. Like, I get that. But she was kicking his butt. That high kick
in that pantsuit with heels.
Amazing. Like, let's pour a shot. Let's throw it. That was great. I really wanted to see that fight sequence. But, yeah. I mean, she wound up being the one to kill him. So...
I was disappointed that they didn't check to make sure that he was dead before they left, though, because I feel like you just know by now you have to double check that someone's dead.
Right.
So it was a little weird that they didn't check it, but it hadn't occurred to me that he'd have the bulletproof vest on. No. So I thought he was going to survive the shooting, but he was going to not be able to get up.
I thought that they weren't going to find the body. I thought that he was going to have, when they went to get the body, he wasn't going to be there.
Okay.
And he would have just disappeared.
Mm-hmm. I like that ending because then you could have always brought him back.
No,
but that flare gun was awesome.
And he acted like, because you heard it. It was the sound effects, I think.
Yes.
Because you heard it.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're going to be like grossed out by this.
Yeah.
Like, it was searing his skin. And he was like, ah!
Yeah.
And fell. That was great. Good job, guys. We approve of Shiloh's death.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah, no, I wanted a flare gun after that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And I like that she saved Jason. Not that
she
hasn't saved him before, but again, it usually is the damsel in distress, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And she took care of it. Because if you would have hit him with that thing, they called it by the right name, but with that hook on the end, ow! He would have been in some major pain. Ow.
Although, like, what's that nurse going to say? They literally told Jordan exactly what she's going to tell them.
I think because Sam said that she wanted to shoot him, not just because she wanted to shoot him, because of all the other reasons. that's going to bring up some suspicious, maybe she didn't need to shoot him.
Oh, come on.
I'm not saying
I know.
She didn't need to shoot him. She needed to shoot him. But I think that's where. But Sam will get off no matter what. Even if they bring up some whole trial against her.
Right.
Like, he's terrorized everyone in the town. Give me a break.
Right. So how are we going to get Wiley back to Michael through this?
I thought for a minute that Brad was going to say something. Because when he was praying in the church, he was like,
I thought he was going to say Jonah.
Whatever. Yeah. When he was bargaining with God, he was like, I will do whatever I need to do, just have him here safely. And so I thought maybe, and then whenever Willow looked so sad, you could tell he was torn, like, you're upset, this isn't even your kid, for real.
I mean, that's going to devastate her.
Oh, it is.
I mean,
yeah, she's going to have to lose him twice on top of the initial loss of giving him up for adoption.
Right, because she's never been able to actually mourn her son.
Right.
You know, she mourned being a mother, but she did not mourn losing a son.
Yes. I feel bad. That might make me cry. That might be a storyline that I cry.
Yeah. That was a tough one.
So yeah, I don't know how we're gonna go. How it's gonna come up that it's Michael's. He's Michael's.
I don't know. I don't know. It'll be interesting though.
Maybe something with Carly's birth. Carly's labor.
Maybe.
Are they gonna need? I don't know how that's needs Wiley's anything though for that. But I was gonna say like some type of blood transfusion, something. Or the baby.
I don't know. It's not a bad idea though.
Somehow maybe it can connect.
Because it's Lucas's son, so of course he's going to offer to save his niece, because we've already said we don't know if it's a girl yet, but Amanda has declared it needs to be a girl. And I agreed.
Yes.
Because of course Lucas is going to offer to save his niece.
But it's not Lucas's biological son.
No.
So what would that baby have?
But he could just, on a whim, you know what? Wiley's under a year, right? Or
Yeah.
Wiley, is he, like, yeah.
Yeah, he's around. He just had his first birthday.
Yeah.
That was when Willow and them were all there.
I don't know.
But I think that's how it should all connect. That's my vote.
But just, like, on a whim, they'll be like, okay, let's get Wiley tested and see if he could be a match. And then they're going to be like, but he's a match to Mom. He's related to Mom, which is Carly, which is Michael's mom.
Yeah. There you go. See?
Okay,
we got it.
Done.
Took me a little while, but I got there with you.
I got you. I know what your brain was thinking for that.
Okay.
Yep. So I did have 2 other social media shout outs. 3. There's actually a real Carly Corinthos.
Oh, wow.
She is.
I wonder how many times a day she gets asked that.
She is a real estate agent in Niagara Falls, Ontario.
Oh, that's funny.
So,
because they love to go up to Canada all the time. They should definitely have some run-ins with Carly Corinthos.
They should. And then Kathy Lawless. It's either I am initially want to say Teal, but it could also be Theo. Apologize if I mispronounced your name. But she and I are in a group together, and we were talking about how Shiloh has a type. Or I think she posted something about Shiloh has a type like all the brunettes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's so funny because we just talked about all the villains are blondes. And she's like, Pier 54, I listen to you every week. So wanted to give a little high shout out to Kathy. Thanks for being a fan.
Yes, thanks for listening. That's awesome.
And then on Instagram, between every word of this name is an underscore. So I'm not going to say underscore every single time.
Okay.
Love Laura Wright and her hair. Is a sweetheart. She posted something a little while ago about the 4 agreements, and Laura had written something, and it said, because of the latest post of at Welcome to Laura's World, which is Laura Wright's Instagram, which made me cry a little. I wanted to tell a personal story because I want to be honest. I know I'm annoying, but I'm so grateful for her. Gosh, what I would have done to meet you too, because she also tagged Wes and talked to you. And then she just goes on and says that she's struggled with anxiety and depression, and that it sometimes gets really ugly and she wants to fight and scream. And she really, really poured out her soul, and she thanked Maurice Bernard for, his honesty and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I cried actually at reading it because it was
Aw.
her soul was just like out there.
Wow.
And it was just, and I just told her, I was like, good for you. I was like, thank you for doing that. And Wes Ramsey commented, prayer hands.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It was just, it's one of those, it's just like one of those that you see that's just like real. So I want to give her a little shout out because she's an awesome person. And with that, now that she gave us hers, you get to give us your
reality check. I feel like I've been doing like nothing. Every week it's just mom. That's all. This week was, speaking of depression and all that, we've talked about how my daughters have issues and all that. So we are getting a new therapist for my oldest daughter. And so there was paperwork to be done and they have to come to the house and talk to her. And they thought this person was going to be in place, but that person quit. So now we're waiting for someone else. And so it's just all of that
turnover in this industry.
Rigmarole that frustrates me because I'm like, can you just help my kid, please? Luckily, she's in a very good place right now. So it's not an emergency, but it just frustrates me because we've been working on this for months now and it's still not all in place. Mm-hmm. So that was Monday. And then this weekend, Madeline had a cheer game and she was so excited. I wish you could have seen her little face. She's finally mastered a cartwheel. So they take all of the kids and ask them, can you do a cartwheel or not? The ones that can do a cartwheel line up and get to do a cartwheel and then join the line. And the ones that can't just stand there and cheer while the other ones do it. So up until this week, she couldn't do it well enough that I didn't want her to do it on the track and kill herself in the middle of the game. So today, when they told him to line up, she looked up at me and like mouthed at me, I can do it, but you tell me no. And so I mouthed back to her and I was like, go ahead. And she just got the biggest smile on her face and she did it and she didn't kill herself. She did it and got in line and no injuries. And she was the proudest little thing you've ever seen. So that was good.
Well, you were doing something with your family the other night when I was texting you. Because you gave me your whole family's input.
Oh, that was Thursday night. That was just kind of hang out. I've said before, my family is super, super close, which I'm very grateful for. So at least once a week, usually twice a week, we all just hang out and have a couple drinks. And
that's great, though.
Eat some pizza and just kind of all reconnect with the craziness of life.
So you are doing something for yourself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's totally my self-care is just we all need to reconnect because
that's awesome, though. That's really sweet that you have that.
I'm very grateful for it. It is awesome. Sweet. So, sweet. That was my week. Crazy mom stuff, but it was good. It was a good week. So, next weekend's homecoming. That's where we'll be.
Saturday night.
All we're allowed to talk about now is how we're doing our nails and our hair and our makeup and blah, blah, blah. So,
I can't wait to see the pictures.
Yeah, that'll be my reality check next week as I made it through homecoming. Hopefully. Let's everyone pray for Amanda.
Knock on wood that she makes it through.
So how about you? What's yours?
I hate being sick. It messed me up for so long because then my son got sick and then my husband got sick. My daughter somehow made it through.
Yay!
Hopefully. She's been at her dad's all weekend. Well, they've been at their dad's, but I don't know if she's made it through being sick. She turned 16 on Tuesday.
She did.
And had like the best party on Monday.
Yes, I who do not cry at most things, because you're kind of more of a crybaby between the two of us. But you posted that awesome video of her getting her cake, and I did. I teared up. She was so happy. It was so adorable. Excited.
It was great. My basement's back in working order.
Yes, our office is back together.
Yes, our recording studio is back up and running-ish. It's functional. That's all that matters.
100%.
Which means that I can make my office functional this week. And just kind of it was a real reality check on, I think it was last Sunday, but I didn't find out until Monday. A girl that I know had cystic fibrosis and she lost her battle last Sunday. But she was just, a ball of energy. You never heard her complain about anything. Of course, little things. But she was just a ray of sunshine. And it was funny because on Facebook, I saw how many people I didn't know knew her.
Oh, wow.
Knew her. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't able to make it to any of the viewings. It's, it's really sad. It was one of those things that's, she's only a year younger than me, too. It just reminds you life's short. Mm-hmm. And she was awesome. She was just really, really cool. So, well, it's missing a big thing. Yeah, sorry, I just ended on a downer. But I didn't mean it to be a downer. It's
right. I don't think it's a down. It's
reflective.
Sad that the world has to go on without her, but it's nice to see the way the world's honoring her also.
Yeah.
So
she definitely made a huge impact.
Lining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, that's all that we have. What, we're going to talk about Liz on Thursday?
Yes.
All right.
Finally
so
digging into that.
Meet us back here on Thursday morning.
Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.